Hi, what I have here on the workbench today is another multifunctional device from Zotac. It is a ZT-R02 multimeter and thermal camera combo. Zotac actually sent in this one before Christmas last year. I just haven't got a chance to look at it until now. It looks like this one was actually specifically prepared for me as it has my name etched on it, not sure if you can see here. And yes, the ZOYI brand is celebrating its 10th anniversary. I have reviewed many ZOYI products on the channel by now, and to make things a little bit more fun, I'm going to give away a ZOYI ZT-MD1 tweezer-style LCR meter in this video. Watch till the end and see how you can enter. No purchase is required. Of course, I would love if you also subscribe to this channel. More on this a little later. Now, I had reviewed a ZT-R01 on the channel last year, so let me put that one here for comparison. Like the ZT-R02, the ZT-R01 is also a multimeter and thermal camera combo, as you can see here. From a glance, you can see that these two meters are pretty much identical. Now, there are some color differences. The colors of these two buttons, for example, are different. But beyond these minor differences, these two meters actually look quite similar. Now let me flip them over and take a look at the back. Now, you probably noticed that the ZT-R01 has a visual spectrum camera, but the ZT-R02 does not. And I think the main reason the ZT-R01 included a visual spectrum camera is because the IR resolution of the ZT-R01 is actually quite modest, at just 32 by 32. So if there is no visual spectrum camera, it would be quite difficult to figure out what you are looking at, given the low thermal resolution. The ZT-R02 did away with the camera as the thermal resolution is noticeably higher at 96 by 96. It's by no means high resolution, but it should be sufficient for you to be able to distinguish the object you are looking at. On the channel, I had reviewed many of these kind of combo devices from brands like Mustool and Tooltop before. They definitely have their audiences, especially for those who work in the field and don't want to carry multiple devices around. For the majority of people though, I think the main use is going to be the multimeter, but having a thermal camera handy, especially at a decent resolution, is definitely going to be useful. The multimeter specs of the ZT-R02 are essentially the same as those of the ZT-R01. These are both 25,000 counts meters, and the accuracy is actually quite good, especially in the DC voltage measurement range. Excluding the millivolt range, the DC measurement accuracy is at 0.05% plus 3 counts. For the millivolt and AC measurement range, the accuracy drops to 0.5% plus 3 counts, which is still quite decent. And like I mentioned before in the ZT-R01 review, the USB port is unfortunately placed at the back of the stand, as you can see here. So to charge this device, you will have to either stand it up or put it on the side, which is a little bit awkward, but no big issue here. The supplied probes actually feel quite cheap. Of course, you have these shrouds for the Cat3 rating. Let's actually remove those and take a look at the tip. So you can see the tip is actually not gold-plated. By the way, these are actually the same kind of probes provided with the ZT-R01 as well. Alright, let me actually power both of these meters up for a quick comparison. But before I do that, let me actually remove the screen protector on the ZT-R02 first. Alright, let's power both of these on. As you saw, it took significantly longer for the ZT-R02 to boot up. That's probably most likely because of the higher pixel count of the IR sensor. It would be good if the IR sensor can be initialized in the background though, especially if you're booting into the multimeter mode. Not a big deal. Now you can see that there are some subtle differences between these two meters. For example, on the ZT-R01, you can see that there's reddish hue behind the digits, but on the ZT-R02, it's just black. Of course, the shades of the secondary display are ever so slightly different between these two meters as well. Let me just quickly cycle through different modes and see if we spot any other differences. And you can see that the ranges are essentially the same between these two meters. Now, this shouldn't be surprising as both of these are 25,000 counts meters, and I suspect they probably have the same hardware inside as well. And of course, just like before, you can toggle the display between the digital mode and graphic mode. Let's take a look. And you can see that largely the graphic mode also looks the same. And there are some tweaks here and there, but nevertheless, these two meters are quite comparable here. All right, now let's change to the IR mode and let's do a quick comparison. So as you can probably see, of course, right now on the ZT-R01, we are in this visual camera mode. So let's actually adjust it to IR. So right now, both of these meters are in IR only. Now let me put something in the background so you can actually see it better. So for that, I powered up an Arduino board. Let's actually take a look here. So if I move it around, you can see that the frame rate on the ZT-R02 is definitely a lot better. And this one is specified, I think, at 25 frames per second, whereas on the ZT-R01 is significantly slower. You can see that. Let me try to zoom in here. Now, hopefully you can see it better. You can see that the update on the ZT-R01 is definitely not as smooth, whereas on the ZT-R02 it is pretty much instantaneous. So in my opinion, the thermal camera on the ZT-R02 is definitely a major upgrade. Anyway, let's cycle through some of the color palettes here. And you can see that we have indeed quite a few different color palettes. Of course, they're slightly different between these two models. At any time, if you want to save the picture, you just press and hold the save button. And you can see that now the picture is being saved. Of course, if you just short press it, you will see this grid at the bottom. It will show you the temperature profile of what is being measured. Now let's take a look at some of the menu options. I think we actually have a lot more menu options compared to the ZT-R01. Let's actually take a look. So here's the ZT-R01. Yeah, you can see that the menu option here is actually just a few, and now we have a lot more. So definitely there's some improvement in the ZT-R02. Then you can see that, so here you can set different things. We have the album, and let's come down. You can set the display brightness, auto off, the distance, and emissivity. Of course, you can adjust based on the objects you are looking at. And let's see what else. We have this canned palettes, the display units, and you can see that we have actually quite a few different settings. Of course, the temperature range is between -20 to 550 Celsius in two different ranges, and you can do that automatic as well. So very good. All right, with the thermal camera functionality out of the way, let's take a look at the multimeter. Now, I suspect the performance is going to be the same as the ZT-R01, but let's just go through quickly. So first I'm going to verify is the DC measurement accuracy using my EDC MV216A voltage standard. So let's actually start with the lowest 25 millivolts voltage range, and now we have a resolution of 1 microvolt. Right now you can see that we do have some offsets, but output actually is at 0. So let me actually route it out. And let's try to change actually 1 microvolt at a time and see if we can register that. So let me adjust to 1 microvolt. Yeah, you can see we are able to discern that too. Of course, it's jumping a little bit. That's actually quite normal. 3, because we're in essentially the noise level here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep, no problem. So now let's just do 1 millivolt at a time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No issues. Now let's take a look at the volt range quickly. 1 volt, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So from what I can see here, the multimeter is actually identical to that on the ZT-R01. So if you want to learn more about the multimeter here, you can check out that review video, which I'll link in the video description below. And here you're looking at the mains voltage in the lab, and the secondary display. You can also see that we do have the frequency measurement, which is nice. The update rate is specified at 3 times per second, which is quite comparable to other budget meters I have reviewed on the channel, and that is definitely adequate. Now let's briefly take a look at the current range. To switch to the current range, all you need to do is press the power button here. So this is DC current. Of course, I press it again, it's AC current. Let's concentrate on DC current here. And of course, we need to change the lead to milliamp. And by the way, the power supply currently is current limited at 100 milliamps. So let's turn it on. And you can see that we have no problem. And now let's take a look at the amp range. So I'm going to still output 100 milliamp, 0.1, 0.2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go directly to 1 amp, 2 amps, 3. No issues. We lost a digit here because that's a 25,000 counts meter. Now let's take a look at the resistance mode. Let's check out the auto ranging. And you can see definitely not the fastest. Of course, there's some issue with the contact here. It is okay. So let's actually start with a 100 ohm precision resistor. This one is a 0.1% tolerance one. Yeah, no issues. Now a 1.25K, 1%. Yeah, pretty accurate. Let me jump directly to a 100 megohm resistor. No issues. Yeah, just like I said, the multimeter works exactly the same as in the ZT-R01. So I strongly recommend you checking out that review video. Anyway, let's test out the next range. So this continuity. You can see here the continuity is actually pretty fast, but the display unfortunately is on the slower side. You can see that it took a while to update. Now we're in diode mode. So here is a silicon diode. And you can see that we have no problem measuring the forward voltage drop. Of course, it would be nice if it has a beep indicating it's a good diode. If I short it, there's no beep either. We should also be able to measure a white LED. Yeah, you can see that no problem. And now we're in capacitance mode. So let's start with this 33 picofarads capacitor. And you can see that we are able to register down to 1 picofarad, but of course the reading is a little bit off. And here we have a 100 nanofarads capacitor. Yep, no issues. Now let's go directly to a large capacitor. This one is a 15 millifarads one. And you can see that it took quite a bit of time, but eventually it got a stable measurement. All right, let's open it up and take a look inside. And I actually opened up both the R01 and R02. You can see that the internal indeed look quite similar. Now, to orient yourself, the one at the bottom is the R02, and the one at the top, that's R01. Somewhat as I expected before, the main layout and all the components are pretty much the same. One thing interesting though is you can see we have a WinBond memory chip on R01, but we don't have that on R02, even though the footprint is here. Another difference is on the R02, we have this footprint for by the look of it, a Bluetooth module, but we don't have that on R01. And everything else look exactly the same. The DMM chip used here is a DM1109CN. Now we don't have the marking on the R01, but that's the chip right here. Now just out of curiosity, I have flipped over the board. So I think the reason why the R02 does not have a memory chip at the other side is probably because the microcontroller used here. And I bet the microcontroller used here is different from what's in the R01. And of course the IR modules used are going to be different between these two models as well. So compared to the ZT-R01, The ZT-R02 has the same capable 25,000 counts multimeter, and it has higher resolution thermal camera, which is definitely more useful. If I have to pick one of these, I will probably go with the ZT-R02. Now let me talk about the rules of the giveaway. More information is provided in the description below. Due to potential issues with the customs, this giveaway is limited to US viewers only. I may open it up to international audience in the future if I can figure out all the nuances with the customs. If you want a chance to win this ZOYI ZT-MD1, all you need to do is just leave a comment stating you wanted to participate. I will do the drawing in a few weeks, and the winner will be randomly selected from those who responded and will be announced via a post on my channel. If your YouTube user account does not have an email, you might want to leave your email address in the comment section so that I can contact you in case you are the winner. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this review and teardown. If you find it useful, please give it a big thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more videos like this in the future. If you want to support my work, please consider becoming a member. Your participation makes videos like this possible. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.